Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
Paul, overall for starters, how tough is it to digest getting a sweep for the second week in a row, especially when y'all had a chance there in the ninth and a couple of chances in this game to try to take control of it?
Yeah, well, it was a tough game. AJ Labus pitched his heart out. I thought our bullpen was terrific. Garrett Edwards, really made just one bad pitch. He left a changeup up to a good hitter, and the kid hit the home run. It's kind of the difference in the ball game. He pitched outstanding. Just had one tough pitch. Fontenot was great, and Floyd was great, and Edwards was great. Labus, like I said, pitched his heart out. We only had, I think, 4 hits against a lot of good arms. We had a chance here in the ninth inning and just couldn't cash in. I had visions that, we were going to get one good swing and, walk them off, but it didn't happen for us. And, we lose a heartbreaker.
It seemed like the bullpen started getting a little bit active in the third inning, and then AJ just really settled in. What was he able to start doing there to go a lot further in this game?
He just, typical AJ, just, made some really big pitches, and, it was vintage AJ, really. He just, he's not an overpowering guy. He just knows how to pitch really well. He makes big pitches at big times. And that's a really tough lineup we went up against. And, he just showed a lot of courage and did a tremendous job. He had the one tough inning where he gave up the 3 runs, but outside of that, he just was awesome, and he pitched, gave us some length. We had some good arms waiting for him, waiting to relieve him. And they all really did a tremendous job. Like I said, it was really just one tough pitch that, Garrett really did a good job. And just one changeup was left up in the zone a little bit, and a good hitter took advantage of it.
Yeah, Paul, was it a consolation maybe today that you felt like you were a bit more competitive in this game?
Yeah. I mean, the 2 starting pitchers that we faced the last 2 days, they're major league pitchers, Ron, and it was hard. We knew it was going to be hard, but, we couldn't hold them down the last 2 nights either. Landon, I thought, pitched well, but, he had some tough luck the other night. And, and then when Jaden, went down, we had to pull him out of the game in the second inning yesterday. It just affected the entire game. Today, AJ pitched, his heart out and kept us in the game, and we were right there. But it's hard to mount anything against a pitching staff like that. They just have so many quality arms, and we just couldn't match them. We just couldn't muster much offense against them, and the kids did the best they could. We just couldn't match up against them, with our offense against their pitching.
Paul, I suppose you wouldn't have an update on Jaden at this point because those tests aren't until tomorrow?
No, don't have anything. Or not till Monday, probably, Wilson.
Are you holding out hope that might have a miracle here and he won't be seriously hurt?
Well, his freshman year, there was nothing, structurally wrong, but he missed the entire season. So there's just no way of knowing at this point. I've talked to the trainer about it this morning, and, he seems to feel like there's potential that it's not a ligament. And, but the orthopedic doctor thought that there's potential that it could be the ligament because of where it hurt and because of, what Jaden told him at the time of the injury. So, it's pure speculation at this point until they do the test.
Is that all for Coach? Thank y'all.
Okay.
All right, y'all can start with questions for AJ.
AJ, they obviously got to you a little bit there in the third inning, and then you really seemed to settle in and give your team some length at a time when it's needed it. What sort of started clicking for you after that inning, and how were you able to go deeper into the game there?
So beginning of the game, I was just rushing everything, wasn't staying over my back leg, and just not using my legs when I was going down the mound. So I tend to fly open and just leaving balls over the middle of the plate instead of hitting corners and making great pitches. And that's a team that capitalizes on mistakes very well. So it's just one of those things where whenever I miss my location, they put a good swing on and capitalize.
It seemed really all game like you were just battling. I mean, they were, battling you at the plate and you were battling them right back. I mean, just, how, I guess, pleased are you with yourself that you were able to kind of hang in there when, they were getting a few hits on you, but you still were not, giving up a whole ton of runs?
No, I'm very pleased with it because I had to make pitches whenever I needed to, and that was a big point in this game for me, since I wasn't feeling the best mechanically and was flying open a little bit. So it's just one of those things where I just had to go out there and battle and make pitches whenever I needed to and keep the score the way it was.
How difficult was it for y'all knowing you had a chance there in the ninth, and just not being able to cash in when y'all really had a chance to maybe get a game here?
I feel like it's difficult, but at the same time, we know that we're that one little small thing away from becoming a good team that wins that game. So it's just one of those things we just gotta keep our heads up and don't get down on ourselves and just go out there and do the little things, and hopefully it'll click.
Yeah, more generally, sort of broadly, where do you think y'all go from here now? I mean, if you're 1-8 in the SEC, but you still have 2 months to play. Where do you feel like y'all are at, and then where do you sort of go from here?
I feel like we just gotta keep that same mentality of just take it one game at a time and just go out there and just keep competing like we did today. And so I feel like we just gotta keep our heads up and just don't get down on ourselves and just keep thinking positive.
Was that the best team y'all played? And since you've been at LSU, you feel like the best overall team you've played since you've been at LSU as far as pitching, hitting, everything?
I would say so, yes. For me, pitching wise, for me, really knowing their lineup was a tough out. You had to locate your pitches well and keep them off balance the whole time. And like I said earlier, whenever you miss your location or made a bad pitch, they made you pay for it. So just one of those things you just had to you just had to stay focused the whole time whenever you're on the mound, and just make sure you make good pitches. And then with them, their pitching's unbelievable, and their hitting was good too. So I feel like that was one of the better teams we played since I've been here.
Is that all for AJ? Thank you. Y'all can start with questions for Gavin.
Gavin, y'all obviously load the bases there, and you come up and get the sacrifice fly. Did it feel like that someone was going to do it? Did it feel like in that moment that someone was going to come through with the hit? Then when it didn't come through, how disappointing was it to end up losing this game?
Obviously, you hate to lose another game, especially in the SEC. So yeah, it was pretty disappointing. I would say just not come back like we really wanted to. but yeah, I did fully expect us to come back in that inning. I think we had a lot of momentum on our side, especially loading the bases. We had the opportunity and plenty of innings to make our mark, and we just weren't able to capitalize.
Yeah, Gavin, it's just, I guess, 3 games in a row now where just the offense, you guys just kind of struggle just to get clicking, I guess, just where do you guys feel like this offense is right now, and just kind of how you can get this thing back on the right track to where you guys were in non-conference play?
I said it before, and I'll say it again. We have a really good team. I believe we have a really good team, and we know that we are really good. But at the same time, we are really young, and I'm not trying to make excuses at all. But we will figure it out. It's going to happen, and when it will happen, it'll be good. We'll get on the right track eventually. Yeah, it sucks to be whatever we are, 1-8, 1-7 in the SEC, but at the end of the day, today's over with, and we're just moving forward from now. We can't dwell on the past. We can only learn from it, and that's what we're going to do.
Is that all for Gavin? Thank y'all. Y'all can start with questions for Trey.
Trey, I guess just for starters, just for the ninth inning, what was kind of going through your mind there as y'all loaded the bases and really seemed to have a chance, to win this game? And then what sort of went through it when they recorded that final out and y'all had lost?
I mean, of course, every guy in our lineup, especially that spot, when they come up, you expect a home run. So I was sitting there expecting a bomb, and it just didn't happen today.
Why do you think, sort of struggle a little bit with runners on base? I think y'all ended up something like 1 for 14 when guys were on base today. Was it something that Vanderbilt was doing as pitching staff, or is it something that y'all need to improve offensively when you get in those situations?
I mean, really, it's just within us. We got to step up when those guys are on base and do our job. But hats off to them for pitching well in those clutch situations.
Trey, obviously you guys wanted to take at least one of these games in this series, but what can you take away from a game like today when y'all came up and y'all were competitive and did, everything that you could do? What can y'all take away from today's game?
I mean, this one definitely hurts, but it really shows that we can play with the best in the country because they're number one for a reason. They came out and played like it. Today, we hung with them, really showed what we can do.
At the end of a series is sort of a chance to look back a little bit. Now 1-8 here, but with still 2 months left in the season. Where do you think y'all are at? And then now where do you kind of go from here? Because you're also at the halfway point of the season.
I mean, we really just got to step up, win some games, win some big series, put us back in the fight.
Is there anything that you think specifically can be done to get that way? Is it just going to sort of take time and reps?
I mean, definitely it's just going to, like you said, hitting with those runners in scoring position, stepping up in the clutch moments. That's about it. Just capitalizing.
Any more questions for Trey? Thank y'all.
Thank you.